AOC. People love Jasmine Crockett. People love Eric Swalwell and the like. And I think that the Democratic Party should put the people out there who the people want. They should put the politicians out there who the people want, who they're asking for, who are meeting the moment with the same energy that
they're not asking for AOC.
Yes, they are.
The people you party with
No. The people I party with don't like AOC.
Oh, please.
No, they don't at all.
Well, most people don't. But she's
AOC,
very far left.
Let me tell you why I'm saying.
The panic has officially kicked in, and AOC is now scrambling for cover after Bill Maher called out her anti-American talking points live on air. His takedown was sharp, direct, and absolutely relentless, sparking a wave of backlash aimed right at the Congresswoman. The truth is, AOC lit this fire herself. Her extreme rhetoric and divisive activism have pushed things way past the limit. I have every explosive moment ready to show you. So before we jump into the chaos, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss a moment like this.
Was when AOC was talking to that lady and she asked her to expand.
About Israel-Palestine?
Oh my God.
Well, I believe absolutely in Israel's right to exist.
She just collapsed into herself?
It's literally like a fifth grader that didn't study.
Look at that incident more through just as an incident.
And then they ask you about the subject, or you didn't read the book. Well, you know, it's about Billy and his dog.
What people are starting to see, at least in the occupation of Palestine, is...
But the crazy thing about that interview is that so her first comment comes off with like total authority.
I am a proponent of a two-state solution.
One little follow-up question. The question's like, well, what do you mean by that? And then you just see her get weaker and weaker.
You use the term the occupation of Palestine. What did you mean by that?
But what do you mean about that? It's like, I don't know what I'm talking about, man. Yeah. And she literally goes, I'm really not the expert.
Do you think you can expand on that?
I am not the expert at geopolitics on this issue.
Ever since Bill Maher called out Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez as a manufactured political figure, the panic around her brand has been obvious. Once celebrated as the progressive voice with all the answers, she now struggles to articulate clear positions on the very issues she claims to lead. On economics, immigration, and climate policy, her comments have ranged from evasive to confused, giving her critics plenty to attack. Pushback is coming from every direction. Even Joe Rogan backed Maher's criticism, arguing that AOC resembles Kamala Harris in all the wrong ways, a media-built persona powered by slogans rather than substance. What once looked like bold conviction increasingly feels like staged performance. The more she speaks, the more exposed she becomes. AOC's carefully curated image is unraveling, and her confidence is slipping fast. Stick around for the next clip showing just how deep her panic goes.
Yes.
And I think if you actually do see some of the photos of the signs, I think there's something to be said about the government's about to shut down. There's a vote clock that's going down. The exits that are normally open in that building were suddenly closed.
Suddenly.
So you pull the fire alarm?
So what I'm here to say is that
what I'm
House
here to say
and U.S. Capitol Police and Jamal Bowman are an active, and he's fully participating and saying there was a misunderstanding. But what I do think is...
hold on. He's active and fully participating in saying that there was a misunderstanding?
He was actively...
That is not our language.
No, he was...
What language is that? She is delightfully stupid. I know people don't like her. I understand that.
Right.
But I just find her just wonderful. She's so...
That is the panic on full display. Long, wandering answers packed with buzzwords that fail to mean anything. It feels like watching a word salad go up in flames. Anyone who has followed AOC closely knows this is her go-to move. When she is confronted with a question she hasn't rehearsed, she slips into jargon-heavy talking points that even her strongest supporters struggle to interpret. She throws out phrases like systemic injustice, intersectionality, and marginalized communities, as if the vocabulary alone will disguise the lack of real substance behind it. People are noticing the pattern now. The dramatic delivery that once energized her image is losing its effect. The carefully curated persona looks more like a social media product than a policymaker with depth. Pressure reveals the cracks. Volume is not expertise. Emotion is not strategy. AOC is quickly running out of places to hide.
has called for the investigating and possible impeaching of members of the Supreme Court. Here's what she said.
I believe that we should be considering subpoenas. We should be considering investigations. There also must be impeachment on the table, and the Supreme Court has not been receiving the adequate oversight necessary in order to preserve their own legitimacy.
Where in the Constitution do you find oversight? One branch is the watchdog of the other branch? I don't think so. That's not the way it works.
A lot of people don't like AOC, but I really do love the earnestness of her stupidity. Like, there's something really charming about how hard she's trying. It's like watching your 14-year-old give a speech about something they don't really fully understand. It's like, it's kind of cute. It's adorable in a very, society-destroying sort of.
This is what many of us have been pointing out for weeks, and what Bill Maher is now urging others to notice. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is not the flawlessly principled figure the media often promotes. She presents herself as a champion of working people, yet frequently appears at exclusive, high-profile events hosted by the same influential elites she criticizes. It is difficult to argue against inequality while wearing luxury fashion on a gala red carpet. That comes across less like activism and more like a performance intended to build a brand. When her name started circulating as a possible replacement for Kamala Harris, it raised legitimate questions. The bold rhetoric and social media presence are real, but when faced with tough, unscripted challenges, her responses often fall short. If this is the future direction of the Democratic Party, they may be underestimating the disconnect between image and substance. The conversation Bill Maher sparked shows that even some supporters are beginning to take a closer look at the difference between loud messaging and real policy strength.
AOC. People love Jasmine Crockett. People love Eric Swalwell and the like. And I think that the Democratic Party should put the people out there who the people want. They should put the politicians out there who the people want, who they're asking for, who are meeting the moment with the same energy that
they're not asking for AOC.
Yes, they are.
The people you party with
No. The people I party with don't like AOC.
Oh, please.
No, they don't at all.
Well, most people don't. But she's
AOC,
very far left.
Let me tell you why I say.
Hold on, because even AOC's own defenders suddenly look unsure of what they are arguing. At first, Don Lemon confidently insists that the public is demanding AOC step into a leadership role. Then Bill Maher pushes back with a calm reminder that outside Lemon's bubble, enthusiasm for her is far from universal. Almost instantly, Lemon pivots and claims that even his own social circle isn't exactly on her side. That kind of rapid backpedaling speaks for itself. It looks like panic in real time. Trying to defend the idea of AOC as presidential material is a nearly impossible task. It is like trying to sell sand in the desert. The support simply is not there. Watching Lemon scramble only highlights the growing desperation. Since leaving CNN, he seems determined to align himself with any narrative that will put him back in the spotlight, even if it means championing a figure whose authenticity is being questioned more than ever.
Vote for AOC and Donald Trump on the same ticket. Because they're authentic. No, because they're authentic.
I don't think that.
Okay,
that Don.
I think you're wrong about that.
What people like about people like Trump and Fetterman is because it's irrelevant to her life.
But you don't know her life.
I know that being a gorgeous woman who I wouldn't even know was Hispanic in a city that has 1 million Hispanics and does not treat them badly.
But that doesn't mean she doesn't struggle. That doesn't mean that she was set down.
It implies it.
But that doesn't mean that she was set down in a Hispanic ghetto in the Bronx and had to deal with that growing up, and that she's come from a working class family.
It implies that it implies that in some way she's behind the 8 ball because of that, and it's.
Don't underestimate the audience's ability to spot a crafted image. Bill Maher clearly doesn't. He continues to question the polished narrative surrounding AOC's background, raising doubts about how closely her public persona matches her real upbringing. His point is that while she speaks as if she rose from deep hardship, her family situation and educational opportunities were more secure than the image suggests. Whether people agree with him or not, he is tapping into a broader conversation about authenticity in politics. Then came Don Lemon's most puzzling argument of the night. He tried to draw a parallel between AOC's authenticity and Donald Trump's. That comparison falls flat for many viewers. Whatever someone thinks of Trump, he built his political identity on being blunt, unscripted, and unapologetically himself. AOC's version of authentic often looks more curated, as if manufactured for social media impact rather than drawn from genuine conviction. Maher isn't letting the issue slide, and his ongoing critique is forcing supporters and skeptics alike to take a closer look at the difference between presentation and reality.
So
I don't know if she's behind the 8 ball, but I don't think she's as privileged as many people who are in Congress right now.
Is that privileged or not? She was a bartender.
Yeah.
You know, so I was a delivery boy.
But I'm saying sometimes, Bill, you don't agree with Donald Trump's policies.
No.
But that's what the people want.
Some of them.
Whether you like her or not, I don't like what she did with Amazon in New York. But I think AOC she's a Democratic icon.
Well, she's the wrong. Sir, if you think that's the direction the country, the Democratic.
I'm not saying the policies that she espouses that's the direction, but I'm saying that you have to give the people who are out front speaking for the party, not the people who are.
If you think
she's evolving,
yeah, she's evolving,
and
as we all are,
and she is moving into
right.
She understands the game a little bit more, and if you notice, she is sort of becoming a sort of normal kind of Democrat in many ways.
Yes.
I think she's evolving.
Okay, great.
She's a very smart tactic. She's very smart.
Let's get behind that.
There are moments when Don Lemon's point becomes difficult to follow. He seems to suggest that whoever gains attention or popularity should automatically be elevated into leadership. That approach raises serious concerns. Leadership should be based on capability and sound judgment, not just enthusiasm from a segment of voters. Treating politics like a popularity contest is exactly what has pushed parts of the Democratic Party into confusion about what they stand for. When decisions are driven by crowd approval instead of core principles, the message becomes chaotic. That kind of approach doesn't show moral direction. It looks like chasing applause rather than leading with conviction. In moments like this, Lemon ends up representing the very uncertainty he claims to speak against.
Madam Chair, Madam Ranking Member, here we are today. Republicans who have voted consistently against the Violence Against Women Act, who have taken away the right of all women to choose and have control over their own body, who, as women are bleeding out in parking lots across the country, standing there, allowing us to die, now want to pretend today that they care about women. And why? To open up gender and, yes, genital examinations into little girls in this country in the so-called name of attacking trans girls. And to that, today,
I could feel a headache coming on just watching that clip. The leap AOC makes is astonishing. How does a discussion about keeping biological males out of women's sports suddenly become a claim about inspecting minors? That is not just a stretch. It feels like an emotional scare tactic designed to spark outrage instead of conversation. The real issue is fairness in competition and ensuring women's sports remain a level playing field. No one is proposing bizarre or invasive policies, and AOC knows that. She is choosing headlines over honesty, when the focus should be on protecting opportunity and safety for young female athletes. She turns it into a sensational distraction. Once again, her response is loud and dramatic, but lacks any real substance behind it.
Bill. Yes, bigoted folks love this bill. Assaulters love this bill. But also, CEOs love this bill, because Los Angeles is on fire right now, and this is the #1 priority the majority has. Thank you.
AOC often responds to concerns about fairness in women's sports by branding the critics as bigots. It feels less like a defense of equity and more like a dismissal of traditional values that many Americans still hold. The argument she pushes turns everything upside down. Protecting women's sports becomes hateful, while allowing biological males to overpower female athletes is framed as inclusion. If you watched her with the sound off, you might think she is offering a thoughtful, well-reasoned case. The hand gestures, the emphatic expressions, the practiced delivery. Yet once you pay attention to what she is actually saying, it becomes difficult to take the performance seriously. It comes across as someone speaking with confidence rather than comprehension. Emotional theater replaces grounded reasoning. That has become a pattern. Her image, once carefully constructed, is starting to show cracks. The arguments feel shallow. The messaging feels calculated. Supporters such as Don Lemon appear to be working overtime to keep the narrative intact, even as more people begin noticing the inconsistencies. Bill Maher did not create this situation. He simply pointed out what critics have been seeing for a long time. The panic that followed says a lot. AOC is not shaping the future of her party. She is distracting from the difficult questions it needs to answer. Thanks for sticking with me through this breakdown. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss what comes next.